Welcome everybody to the Hibiscus Sports Complex as Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia bring you the QBL Game of the Week featuring the University of Sunshine Coast RipCity visiting the Southwest Metro Pirates. I'm John Guarna. I'm joined this afternoon by Dave Derwin and Regan Baker for this exciting matchup, Dave. It's a tremendous QBL matchup. Pirates at home. A little short-handed, though, this afternoon. They're missing their captain, Ryan Vines, as well as star import Princeton Onwis. Could be a huge difference maker in the outcome of today's game.
Yeah, and you hope for the Pirate fans that they can draw a bit of confidence on last night. Again, they came away with a good win. Boy, it's been cold here at the Pirate Ship to start the season. I think 2 of 27 last week from 3, 4 of 20 last night. They've got to be due for a crazy hot start, statistically speaking.
Well, the thing that's pretty interesting, though, Dave, with those cold starts, the Pirates still sit at 3-1 with a pretty solid record. Defensively, they've been pretty strong. They have to be happy with their defensive performance so far this season.
Yeah, I think we talked about it a little bit in the last game we covered of theirs. They've been a bit inconsistent defensively, and that's the key where they need to be moved from, say, a 6th or 7th ranked team into the top 3-4. I think they've got good talent. Princeton was super efficient last night again, and so they're well positioned. And then you've got a nice balanced roster at the Rip as well, who are equally a team who I could say the same. If they play well, they could be a top 3-4 team.
Yeah, Rip are tremendous. They're a tremendous led by their tremendous backcourt, I should say, of Izzy Tueta and Lance Hurdle. Hurdle averaging nearly 25 points a game. Izzy Tueta is an NBL player. As in anyone's book, how he doesn't have a contract yet is beyond me. But they're a tremendous backcourt. And then you add a player like Eric McAllister, who gives them a little bit of depth up front. This is a really talented Rip team that we're seeing for the first time this season. What are your expectations from them this afternoon?
Well, again, they've had an okay start too, and so sitting 2-1, and it'll be interesting to see how they continue to build their travel. I think they're really tough at home with that home crowd, and so now they've got an opportunity to sort of build this year on becoming a really solid away team as well. And as I said, if they can defensively work it out, they share the ball well. And they're really positioned to be a top team this year.
And got to give a shout out to our good friend Louis Ilton as well. Caught up with him a bit before the game. Tells me he's a three-point shooter now, so we'll see if we see that this afternoon.
He's been telling me for years today. So.
But Louis is a really solid player as well. And the addition of McAllister not only helps the Rip as a team, but in particular Louis Ilton and Josh Tueta. That depth up front really hurt the Rip, I thought, last year in the finals. Bringing in a McAllister, who's a talented offensive player, but just gives them a bit more depth up front and another person to grab some rebounds really is a nice addition for them.
Yeah, and I think it'll be interesting to see today with a little bit of the battle of the boards. So Princeton's not going to be there, and Vines' leadership's going to be missing a little bit. So I think the Pirates have got some bigger guys who they could try and exploit, and we'll see how they go against the Rip.
All right, we'll take a quick pause for the anthem. Be back with you shortly for your QBL Game of the Week. Back with you here for your QBL Game of the Week. Take a quick look at the last time out for the Pirates, which happened to be last night. It was a nice win for the Pirates, 88-77 over the Gold Coast Rollers. In that game, Pirates shot 50% from the field, but Dave, like you said before, they did still struggle from 3, only hitting 4 of 20. Princeton Onwis was huge last night, though, 23 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. Bairstow had a really nice game as well, 12 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists. Vines was there last night, 10 points and 2 rebounds in his limited minutes after hurting his ankle. But losing 2 of your top 3 scorers is a really, really tough thing to overcome. What do the Pirates have to do this afternoon to make up for the loss of Onwis and Vines?
Well, I think you know they'll miss them, but equally they're a bit of a by committee group anyway. So you know really it's just around the likes of the Marty Lay, Jake Allen will get a bit more minutes. Young Ty needs to step up today. You know he's maybe going okay. He's a fair statement. Maybe maybe a C. I mean if he's playing 15 minutes a game, you know maybe he'll need 21 tonight. But he needs to go get 2 block shots and 9 rebounds and change some stuff. And be a threat. So, and equally, you know, young Vel Williams has an opportunity. I mean, you're going to get, Bear's going to do what he does and maybe hopefully get a bit more production out of him. But you might see a little bit more tempo, I think, if they're going to give the likes of Gids and Stoddard some more minutes. So they might try and press and trap a bit more and to try and make create a bit of offense.
And for the Rip, this is their first game of the weekend. Their last game was a 117-76 win over Gladstone. Lance Hurdle was huge in that game. He had 33 points on 10 of 21 shooting, 8 of 16 from 3 with 6 rebounds. Louis Ilton had a huge double-double, 19 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 assists. And Eric McAllister had 22 points and 7 rebounds. I think if you're the Rip, you're probably licking your lips seeing that there's no Princeton Onwis and Ryan Vines. This is a great opportunity for the Rip to pull out a very big road win for themselves. What do they need to do to pull out the win today?
Yeah, I mean, I think equally, if I'm the Rip, I'm looking to create some pressure and make Vel Williams work his backside off all night long. I mean, they don't really have a strong point guard in the backup now without Vines. Vines and Vel carry the most of the ball. So equally, I'd be trying to press and force the issue with them and exploit some of the younger Pirates who are a little bit more inexperienced bringing the ball up. But again, I think if they just got to stay with who they are. They were a good team last year. I wouldn't get too excited about a beatdown on Gladstone. Toowoomba beat them bad last night too. So I think to your point, it's going to be a really good test to see what they're like because they've had a couple of good wins, but this will probably be a good test for them this afternoon.
Yeah, well, we're nearly set for the tip, Dave. I'm going to hit you up like I always do. Any predictions for this afternoon?
Well, I think just based on a little bit of confidence from last night, I'm going to tip Pirates in a close one, Johnny.
Pirates in a close one. I like it. I think that'd be a bit of an upset without the services of Ryan Vines and Princeton Onwis. You see Coach Downer, he's going to go with guys who typically will come off the bench, and Marty Leahy and Jake Allen. They're going to join Jared Bairstow, Verl Williams Jr., and Troy Thompson in the starting 5 for the Pirates. And they're going to match up with Lance Hurdle, Eric McAllister, Louis Ilton, Izzy Tueta, and Josh Tueta. Some interesting matchups. If you're Coach Downer, how do you look to maybe go a bit of zone here to start, maybe to try and save some minutes for guys?
You might see a little bit of that. I mean, it just depends. I mean, Hurdle obviously he might have a sore shoulder still from last game, shooting 16 threes. But obviously he likes to get him up. Good start from Ilton.
And nice tip there from McAllister to Louis Ilton. Quick bucket on the board for the Rip. I want to see what Rip do defensively. They need to be strong defensively. They want to at least secure themselves a home final this season if they can. And I like that also from Verl Williams Jr. Aggressive play. If you get Hurdle in foul trouble, he can't shoot the ball.
Yeah, and that's I'm the same. I really like it. And that's where he needs to be this year, a little bit more aggressive in that penetration. So obviously they run some flow system and move the ball well. But then you really need to penetrate and put the defense under pressure. And there's not too many that are faster than Verl with or without the ball.
Nice hesitation. Bairstow now puts it on the floor, fires a long 2. That's too strong. Hurdle defensive rebound. He kicks ahead for a streaking McAllister over to Ilton. Flips it up. It's no good, and Thompson comes down with it. Rip really looking to attack in transition early. Leahy has it stolen. Tueta comes up with it. Izzy Tueta now running the point.
Yeah, just being soft with the ball. He's just going to be a bit aggressive. He came down, one dribble, picked up his ball.
McAllister fires a deep 3. That's off. Group rebound, and that's what you're going to need to see from the Pirates today. There's a foul inside. Izzy Tueta battling for position with Jared Bairstow. That's the second team foul. Already on the rip, minute 15 into the game.
And if the Pirates can continue to do that, Johnny, and get to the foul line, that again will be another option for them to increase their scoring if they're as too quicky, and Tueta's sitting for the next 8:36.
Yeah, Josh Tueta picks up the second one. That's a block on Bairstow's way to the basket. That's a tough matchup for Josh. I'm surprised they have him on Bairstow. I thought you might see like an Ilton or McAllister, and you see them switch right away.
Well, Nathan's going to run with him, which is a little bit risky, but he's just going to switch up the matchups. And if I was them, I'd be running Marty Leahy straight at him.
There's Leahy now getting the screen from Thompson. Now Allen on the wing with 5 to go on the shot clock. Good help defense. Nice roll by Thompson. Can't get the shot off. So good defensive possession there from the rip, forcing the Pirates into the shot clock violation.
Yeah, good energy, good talk from the rip early in the first quarter.
You see that nice show there from Josh Tueta, and then the switch. That's all communication.
Yeah.
Long baseball pass ahead. McAllister finds Josh Tueta. Reverse layup, good. And Pirates go, Rip go up 4.
And that's the example of poor communication, Johnny, from the Pirates.
That's just too easy.
Yeah, far too easy.
Here's Verl Williams Jr. Nice in and out dribble, finishes strong. And then he gets his hand on the pass. Jake Allen recovers. So nice sequence there from Verl Williams Jr. Josh Tueta falls over. Thompson fires a 3 that's short. Strong rebound from McAllister. You haven't seen McAllister in a couple years in the QBL. He's come back here on fuego. He's just had a great start to the season, as has Lance Hurdle. Top of the key, 3 is wet. The heat check is off the first shot of the game. What's that one there, Regan, our resident referee? The sub on Thompson, is there blood or something?
Yeah, I don't know what the signal was. I've never seen that one before, but it was definitely blood just on the arm of Troy Thompson. Must have got a bit of a nail pick up there somewhere and got scratched, but he'll be back shortly.
So we see Ty Harrison check in early. 7:25 to go in the first quarter. It's a 5-point lead here for the Rip. Dave, what are you seeing in the early going for both teams?
Well, I like the Rip start. Defensively, really good energy. Reminded me of the Spartans' great start a couple weeks ago. We called. Again, it's just going to be whether or not they can continue that good talk, good energy.
Yeah, good defensive rebound there by Louis Ilton. They're going to get Marty Leahy going over the top. Really, they're picking up pretty much from half court, Rip, and they're up and in the whole time.
Yeah,
I love the defensive intensity.
And again, Pirates are going to look to burn a bit of clock here in this press.
Jake Allen gets the Izzy Tueta assignment. Tueta aggressive layup is good. No help defense there for Jake Allen, and the Pirates trail by 7.
Now, and that's where we've sort of said the Pirates really have had some areas to improve is defensively, and that is in that help position.
Allen has it guarded by Tueta. A lot of contact. Allen picks up his dribble. He's fouled on his way to the bucket.
Oh, that could be 3 on. It is 2. Now,
Josh didn't like the call. That's his 3rd personal. Coach Arausi doesn't like it either. And there goes the substitution. Let's see who comes in. They're gonna leave him out there actually.
Well, it's not just the mental the 3 fouls, but mentally it really messes with you a little bit. And so he's going to be real hesitant, and he's going to be almost a passenger for the next kind of half of basketball. But I think they need him though, so it's a tough decision here early.
Alley-oop for McAllister, puts it down with 2 hands. Coach Downer going to take a timeout. He's not happy with the defense. His team's down 9 with 6:09 to go in the first quarter. Timeout on the floor. We'll take one as well. Your QBL Game of the Week presented to you by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia. Back with you at the Hibiscus Sports Complex. It's a 9-point lead for the Rip over the Southwest Metro Pirates. 11-2, 6:09 to go in the first quarter, Dave. Excellent start for the Rip. Complete opposite for the Pirates. Pirates struggling both offensively and defensively in the first 4 minutes of the game.
Yeah, and really it just comes down to the Rip have been energized defensively. They're, again, guarding with good bodies, good arms. Nathan's got to be really happy at the moment. And the Pirates are being a little hesitant.
The only negative for the start from the Rip is that Josh Tuetta's got 3 personals less than 4 minutes into the game. You see Rory Sutton on the floor for the Rip. Harrison has it now. Skips it over to Allen. Good pump fake. Finds Leahy for the corner 3. It's up, in and out. Pirates can't buy a bucket to start the game.
Yeah, good ball movement though, patient. And I think, I'd really like to see Tyrell be aggressive here and take it to Sutton again, because it just getting the Rip to the bonus will be somewhere that the Pirates can shake it up and try and get some offense.
Izzy Tueta 3 increases the lead for the Rip to 12. It's the polar opposite here. Rip just can't miss. Allen hook shot is too strong. Bairstow though with a nice follow. I like what Rip do though, Dave. They're really trying to push the pace here. Sutton blocked by Harrison. He had 4 last night versus the Gold Coast. Picks up again early.
It wasn't just 4 last night either. It was 4 massive blocks as well if you had seen the game at home. Incredible job from Harrison.
There you go, big fella.
And
there you go.
There's a big fella using that big frame. Nice footwork though, also as well. Gets the hook shot to fall.
We've been asking for it for a little while, and nice to see. Good little drop step to the middle, using his offhand. You kind of can't block it at 7 foot. I don't know why he's not doing that a lot more.
I expect to see a lot more of that. McAllister.
Good help again.
His hook shot's off. Allen
and
now.
And this is what you want to, sorry, Johnny, this is what you want to see. You want to see him come in and make an impact. And again, he's done that. He's come in, blocked shots, contesting shots, giving him a good post target.
There's the screen and roll. Allen finds him again. He's double teamed.
Well, he missed Bear on that pass then, but
good jab step, and there's the hook shot. Too strong. McAllister rebound.
Well, they got to get Bairstow and Lay. You got to be on the glass then.
McAllister, nice aggressive play. Harrison loses it. Allen though recovers. Allen with the Euro out to Williams Jr. 3-pointer is up and good. Burl Williams Jr. with the big bucket cuts the Pirates deficit to 5.
Yeah, better looking action in the last few minutes from the Pirates. And Izzy said, I've seen enough.
Hilton tips it out to Leahy. Leahy, nice spin move. He loses it on the way up. And Izzy Tueta recovers.
Well, I thought it looked like a bit of arm, but he didn't complain, so I guess not.
You know Marty Leahy for a long time. He's not one to complain much at all, is he?
No, well, generally you can tell by the player's reaction too, but
Izzy Tueta is going to fire a 3. That rattles home as well. Izzy Tueta's got it going on here. He's got 8, and his team's up 8. 17-9, 3 minutes to go in the first.
It was a pretty reasonable hand, I thought, too. Tough shot from Izzy.
Maybe a bit too much space.
A little bit, but again, he's got to also contain because Izzy does like to drive, so he's a tough cover.
Harrison loses the ball. Hurdle recovers for Rip. Nice cross-court pass to Izzy Tueta. And Sunshine Coast going to settle things down a bit.
Well, it's a bit of a frenetic pace at the moment, and the Rip boys, a few of them, I think, will look into the bench.
Nice drive and finish there from McAllister, taking the big man out to the perimeter and using his speed to blow past them. Talk about speed. Verl Williams Jr. blows past the defense. He's fouled on his way to the bucket. It's the 15th foul for the Rip. So Verl Williams Jr. going to go to the free throw line, it looks like, for 2 shots on the season. Verl shooting at a 60% clip from the charity stripe.
Timeout here for the Pirates, Johnny.
So Pirates take a timeout. Dave, you want to keep it here? All right, we'll take a break. It's a 19-9 lead for the Rip over the Pirates. 2:24 to go in the first quarter. Your QBL Game of the Week presented to you by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia. Back with you at Hibiscus Sports Complex, the USC RipCity 19 over the Pirates 9. Verl Williams Jr. going to the free throw line for 2 shots. It's been a frenetic start, Dave, like you referred to. Rip needed that timeout just to get their feet back underneath, and they look exhausted.
They did. So, you know, I mean, obviously great energy to start the game, and hopefully they can continue on with that for all those Rip fans out there. And it was interesting, too, last night's game for the Pirates and Goldie. You know, it was pretty much tied until late in the 4th quarter.
2 free throws are good.
And then the Pirates really finished well, so which was a good sign for them, because that's probably been one of their weaknesses as well, is executing late.
First time we're seeing Peter Walker and Zane Meal, and they get called for the 8 seconds there. Little slow on the push up the court.
And like we said, you know, with Gids and Stoddard in, you would assume they'll do a little bit more trap. They might go into a zone here and try and be active. But they've really got to find the Rip shooters.
Machando is going to fire a fadeaway that's off. There's a foul inside. That one's going to go against Nick Stoddard over the back of Peter Walker.
And I don't mind the aggressive feet in the paint, but I think you can get a better shot than that. The fadeaway, you know, 15 seconds into the clock.
Yeah, one thing that frustrates me the most about basketball these days is every shot seems to be a fadeaway. Almost every shot.
Yeah, well, I was going to thought you were going to say every shot's a 3-pointer.
Well, it's either a fadeaway or a 3. Good defense there on for the Pirates, getting the stop. Here comes Harrison going right at the rim, missed the layup. A lot of contact, no call. Walker kicks ahead for Ilton. Can't save the ball from going out of bounds.
Yeah, I thought that was a fair bit of contact too, but again, Coach Downer didn't complain, so I guess he thought it was okay. He did
vertical.
Well, he did try and go straight up. I just thought he got him on the arm, but maybe my eyesight isn't as good as it used to be.
The young Pirates going to get a lot of burn here tonight. Harrison, good backdoor pass to Machando, who's fouled by Meal. It's a good look from Ty Harrison.
Yeah, he's been really good so far.
And Machando has an opportunity to go to the free throw line on the season. He's only taken 5 free throws and only hit 1 of them. So
yeah, and again, that's going to come from him getting spot minutes and a bit challenging. But, you know, that's a much better look versus his Nowitzki floater, which I don't mind if he's hot, but he's not hot yet.
And this is the first one. Free throws usually get you going.
Yeah, get your eye in for sure. One thing I'd like to see too with Ty on that ball reverse is sometimes he holds the ball a bit too long too. Sometimes I'd like to see him just ping it and get out of the way and just create a bit more tempo for the offense.
I like how he uses the pump fake though. He's taken a few 3-pointers, hasn't hit one yet, but the threat is there. He doesn't have a bad looking jump shot either.
No, his jump shot actually is pretty good for a guy that's only been relatively playing a couple of years.
So Zeke Meal checking in for the first time this afternoon. Hurdle has it now. He'll step back and fire. It's shots off. There's a foul inside somewhere. Not sure if it's on the Pirates. It's going to go against Ty Harrison, pushing in the back of Rory Sutton. Yeah, it's the 3rd team foul on the Pirates.
And to your point, Johnny, about the fadeaways, I felt he had Verl beaten, and he should have been gone to the rim and created contact. Again, you know, like Tueta's going to sit for the next quarter. They need to go at Verl Williams a little bit too and make him defend someone, because he's going to play 35 minutes tonight.
He has to with no Vines, no Onwis. Sutton has the matchup with Machando. Skips it over to Hurdle. They got 7 on the shot clock. Hurdle floater is no good, but he's fouled by Troy Thompson. And that's a little bit better. No fadeaway, leaning towards the basket, getting that floater in the air.
Yeah.
Picking up the contact.
Yeah, I mean, he looks in really good nick. I mean, he was bouncy in the warm-ups, putting down some nice dunks as well. I didn't remember him being as athletic as what he looks at the moment.
Hurdle, you know, he's a former NBL player, obviously. Yeah. He's a former slam dunk champion from my memory.
Well, see, we don't see them much, so, you know, maybe I just forgot. But, yeah, he looks really sharp so far.
Yeah, and just a great player. He looks fantastic in good health. He's got the knee injuries like many basketball players do, but looks to be back in complete health. And just a dangerous weapon. You saw last week against Gladstone. He'll drop 30 on you if you give him space and you let him get hit hot.
Yeah.
He hits his 2 free throws. It's a 9-point lead.
Well, Pirates have done a good job here to hang around. I mean, I know it's a 9-point game, but they were down 14-2 and looking pretty rubbish.
Yep.
So they've done a good job to fight back here and again and withhold some of that early Rip energy defensively.
Hey, Rory Sutton and Ty Harrison picking up a couple warnings. Guys pushing and shoving. Rory Sutton known to get under people's skin a little bit in his career.
I like it.
Don't mind it either. Thompson picks up his dribble. Now Allen has it with 5 seconds to go. He's fouled on his way to the bucket. So Jake Allen with the rip and the penalty. Going to go to the free throw line for 2 shots. That one goes against Zeke Meal. Allen on the season shooting just 47% from the free throw line. Someone who's so fundamentally sound, you'd think the percentage would be a lot better than that.
Maybe he gets caught up looking at his shoes and it's put him in a little bit of a daze or something, Johnny, because he's, I mean, some crazy little Kyrie love right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, as you say, shoots a good 3 and he's been, captain 6 man for them. And often their leading scorer, actually, so.
Hits 1 of 2, ball goes out of bounds though, off the rip, so Pirates will have it. Izzy Twitter gonna check back in for the last 30 seconds of the first quarter. Zeke Meal going to check out. Lockie Venus checks in for Southwest as well. Interesting, you got the youth for the Pirates, but you also got some veterans out there in Thompson and Allen. Machando with 9, leaves his feet, finds Stoddart corner 3, it's up and strong. Allen tips it out.
Shots here again. Good job of Allen on the glass. Little unlucky, both battling for it.
Yeah, that was an interesting foul call. Meal had pretty good position.
Yeah,
I thought when the whistle blew, it was going to be Allen going over the back.
I thought the same.
But they give that one to Meal. That's his second. And Allen back to the free throw line for 2 shots. It's the first.
And I think that's the thing that Southwest has to do because the shots over the last couple of weeks, they haven't dropped, but they've been pretty good looks again. So that's where they really need to balance up and get some points from the free throw line when the 3s aren't falling. So the foul count's probably 8-5, I'm guessing, or something like that, which is probably where it needs to be tonight if the Pirates are going to be having a chance with a little bit underhanded.
Tueta over to Meal, corner 3. Looked like it was blocked by Machando, but there's a lot of contact there, and Meal going to go to the free throw line for 3 shots.
And did Mark just give someone a tee? No? Yes?
Yeah, technical foul on Zeke Meal.
Get a little lippy. And he's got 3.
Yeah, that's his 3rd personal, so he'll shoot.
He'll shoot his
3 free throws, and then it's Pirates free throw and possession.
Yeah, correct. So it'll be 3 shots here first for Rip City. Coming down the other end, we're going to take 1 shot, and then Southwest will get the last 2.8 to try and put some more buckets on the board.
Interesting. I wonder if it was the lip or if it was the
I imagine
contact.
it'll be the lip when he got back up, because obviously there was a lot of contact from Machando. He hit the ground pretty hard, so it was probably a bit too lippy at either referees or Machando as he stood back up again.
I think what Mark just signaled to Coach Arusi was we had a warning between the other players having a little bit of shenanigans, and he said no more. There's the tee.
All right, I like it. Keep things under control. So Allen going to go to the free throw line for the technical free throw shot, and that's good. So Meal went 1 of 3 from the free throw line. Allen hit his 1. It's now 21-14. Southwest has possession on the technical foul, and they have 2.8 seconds to go to get a shot off.
Yeah, if they can execute here in this last couple of seconds, that'd be a nice confidence boost for the Pirates.
So Stoddart will inbound at about the half court. Looking for Bairstow. He gets the catch, gets inside. He's got to get a shot off. Machando won't do it. The bucket won't count. It's after the buzzer. It was a good look. I'm surprised Bairstow didn't pull up. He had a lot of space.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, that's the end of the quarter with the Rip up 7, 22-15. Pretty good action from both teams. Both teams seem to have their moments, Dave.
Yeah, they have, and I guess a little bit of ill discipline from the Rip with the foul count is hurting them. But if they can clean that up, they'll be okay. And then equally, if I'm Coach Downer, I'm telling them to smash it into them and really exploit this foul problems they've got.
Well, we'll see what happens. It's the quarter time break. We'll take one as well. We'll come back with some statistics and the second quarter of action here on your QBL Game of the Week, presented by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia. Back with you at Hibiscus Sports Complex. It's the start of the second quarter, Dave. Rip up 7, 22-15. Let's take a quick look at the statistics for both teams.
Well, again, the Pirates are 4 of 15, only shooting 26% from the floor, and 1 of 5 from 3. +1 on the rebounding to the Rip, and just really low turnovers and really low assist numbers early. So just a bit of a scrappy affair, but both teams are again settling in. Rip have some foul trouble.
Yeah, they've got Tueta with 3, Josh Tueta with 3, I should say, and Zeke Meal also has 3. Bairstow looking for some contact. There's no call. He loses the ball out of bounds. I like what Pirates do, though, go looking for Bairstow. They really need him to have not a big game, but they need him to contribute.
Well, I think they do need him. I think they do need a really big game, Johnny, because, you know, I think they need, if he doesn't give them 20 tonight, I'm not sure they're getting away with a W.
We had a fairly quiet first quarter. Tueta working against Machando. He's going to step back and fire. That rolls home. Izzy Tueta's got the Jimmy working here tonight. He's got 10. Good ball movement for the Pirates here. Allen has it now on the wing. Venus at the free throw line, kicks it out for Jake Allen.
I've missed a couple of passes early.
Venus's 3 is short. Allen with the one-handed rebound out to Stoddart for 3.
Whoa, did not look like
that's a brick.
In the rim. There's a foul.
Ball batted around. Allen has it with 4 on the shot clock. He's got to get a shot off. Steps through, flips it up, can't get it to fall. McAllister with the rebound. And it looks like they're going to get Machando with an arm on McAllister's wrist. Scrappy start here to the second quarter for both teams.
Yeah. Good effort from Machando to get on the glass, but he's just got to be smarter. You need to compete without fouling. I mean, he's probably given up 6 or 7 inches to the big guy.
Easy. Tueta over to Meal for 3. That's good. I think we would have said Meal 3. Got to be close to a few hundred times across his career. That guy can shoot the pill.
Yeah. And you don't have to ask him twice.
No, you give him a bit of daylight, he's going to fire. Lead is up to 12 now for Rip. Ball inbounded right in front of us by Stoddart. Pirates have Verl Williams Jr., Jared Bairstow, Jake Allen, Stoddart and Lucky Venus on the floor. Bairstow has it now for the Pirates. Looking to go right at Louis Ilton. He flips it up and in. That's a nice strong move from Bairstow.
Yeah. I'd really like to see him get established in the paint here and just let the Rip adjust.
Ilton goes right at the defense and lays it back in. Good recognition there from the Rip with Williams Jr. guarding Louis Ilton. And they're going to get Jake Allen for the offensive foul, setting a moving screen. I think that's the first one on Jake Allen. It's the second team foul on the Pirates in the quarter. Stoddart checks out. Christian Pang sees his first minutes for the Pirates today. Feels like nighttime.
Yeah.
Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Ilton flips one up. It's off. Bairstow with a strong rebound. Verl Williams Jr. gets to the bucket and lays it in. Now a 10-point deficit for the Pirates.
Yeah, need a bit more of that from Williams. He needs to be really aggressive too.
Neal finds McAllister. He'll fire a corner two. That's too strong. Verl Williams Jr. saves it from going out of bounds. Verl now on the right wing. They work it around the perimeter. Pang over to Allen.
Oh, another offensive foul.
And then they get an offensive foul, this time on Lockie Venus, setting the moving screen again. That's the third team foul, second consecutive moving screen.
Yeah.
Coach Downer having a bit of a chat with the referees. He's talking to his players to slip the screen. He doesn't want to get called for the moving pick. They've given, I think they gave Coach Downer a warning. Dave?
Sorry, I was semi-eavesdropping, lip reading, doing my thing. I think Downer was within a millimeter of getting a tee.
Yeah,
but which also means that Mark might give him one if he looks at him the wrong way in the next 24 minutes. So he needs to watch himself.
McAllister fouled on his way to the bucket. That's on Lockie Venus. So McAllister will go to the free throw line on the season. McAllister shoots just at a 50% clip from the free throw line.
And good recognition too. I mean, again, Venus, the veteran, got to attack the younger guys.
McAllister misses that first one. It's a very I'm trying to find the right word. It's not a spiteful game, but a lot of yapping on the court from the players to each other and coaches to the referees. It's a bit of a niggly one out there at the moment.
Maybe they all want to get home and hang out with their mums.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
But I think it's it's tough. Every game matters when you're only playing 18, and so for the Rip, I'm sure they're that's surely got to be a goaltend.
Yeah.
Oh, they missed that one. They let it go. Rip recover.
Yeah, I think Johnny. That's the thing. I mean, if I'm the Rip and I don't have Princeton and Ryan Vines, I'm like, we better get a W today. And same thing with Coach Downer. I'd be like going, you guys better step up today because we haven't got our couple other guys. And so I think. The good level of intensity is reflecting that, which is good.
And McAllister with a strong move goes right at Ty Harrison, picks up the foul. It's the 15th foul on the Pirates. Coach Downer not happy because he sees a big donut under the team fouls for the Rip.
Well, again, it's just bad screens. There's two of them, and the rest of them, the Rip have done a good job of being aggressive. So it's. Got nothing to do with the guys with the whistle so far.
McAllister hits them both, increasing his team's lead to 13, 32-19. 6:10 to go in the first half. Hopefully we'll get one of the coaches to join us before the start of the second half. Pang's Pass is stolen. Kick ahead for Lance Hurdle, who goes up and puts it down strong with 2 hands. Coach Downer gonna take a timeout with his team down 15. And the momentum favoring the Rip. Like that timeout from Downer, but that's just too easy for the Rip on that one, Dave.
Yeah, and Pangy had not a bad move. He just finished. He just was hesitant again. Either you get on the rim, turn the corner, and he's a lefty, so it was on his strong side, or chuck it back out to tie earlier. So just a bit of an experience there, and the Rip did a good job of putting bodies in front of him.
Timeout on the floor. We'll take one as well. 6 minutes to go in the first half. It's a 15-point lead for the Rip over the Pirates. And your QBL Game of the Week presented to you by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia. Back with you here at Hibiscus Sports Complex. USC Rip up 15, 34-19 over the Southwest Metro Pirates. Dave, 6 minutes to go in the first half.
USC sounds like UFC, you know, yeah.
UFC? A bit.
I'm like, what are you talking about, Johnny? Are we at the fights here or something?
Well, it's been a physical game as there's a foul on the floor. Allen going to the basket. Let's see who they give that one to. McAllister's raising his hand. They're going to give it to McAllister. Josh Allen out of the timeout. They're going to say it was on the floor. I thought that was in the act of shooting. I guess not.
It's kind of hard for Coach Arusi to win an argument with the referee when McAllister puts his hand up and says, "It's me," instantly.
And more action as Louis Hilton fouls. Bairstow battling for a position. A couple of churchy boys battling inside the paint.
I reckon there's a nice solid tee about
Someone
2 minutes away.
You just feel it in the air.
Yeah. Both coaches are getting on the refs, and I think the refs had enough now.
Harrison finds Allen on the wing, uses the pump fake, spins left, looking for some space. Good
great
strip.
D. Again, Tueta using his body, staying down low.
And Izzy Tueta is deceptively strong, isn't he?
Yeah.
Hurdle has it now. Jump shot is up, and that rattles home. Had to go up high over the big fella.
Yeah.
17 points now, the lead for the Rip over Pirates. Allen flips it up, can't get it to fall, gets his own rebound. It's knocked out of bounds off of Izzy Tueta.
Right, I love his sneaky step through. It's just so effective.
I want to call it a travel every time, though. I don't know. It looks like he takes that extra step.
Yeah, I think it's okay. It's just really solid. Comes with a good drop step and uses his feet well.
Leahy has it.
I think his pops will tell everyone that was all his great coaching.
Good look inside. Harrison fouled. Bairstow on a nice dish to Harrison.
Yeah.
Good job, though, by the Rip. Fouling the big fella, making him earn his points at the free throw line.
Yeah, it's been a tough quarter so far. Only 5 points here for Pirates in the second.
Yeah, Rip are doing a pretty good job packing everything in.
They are.
And Pirates struggling from three, probably a bit hesitant to shoot from deep.
Yeah, 1 of 7 from the foul line. I mean, I don't want to see what their stat is for the season, but I'm going to say bad.
Well, Harrison hit the first one. Second one is good as well, so deficit cuts at 15. Under 5 to go in the first half.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's a 15-point ball game so far.
Hurdles corner 3, rolls in and out.
Lucky you can't leave the corner. So they got away with one.
Good reverse dribble there. Verl Williams Jr. finds Harrison through the lane for 2-hand slam.
Well, the highlight of the night by far, and it was certainly the Verl Williams setup.
And then Hurdle fouled by Allen on his way to the bucket. you have the great play on one end, but the transition D, it hurts you.
Yeah.
It's all well and good to hang a bit on the rim there, but got to get back. Can't let him beat you up the court.
Well, just a bit of lack of concentration and attention to detail on where you need to be on the next on the next possession. Fair enough. Williams and Ty were involved in the play, but the other three guys, you know, they got to bust it back. And you've seen that their intention is to push the ball as hard as they can.
Hurdle hits them both, so it's back up to 15. And that hurts you a bit because you get a little momentum, you get a bit of juice flowing after the big dunk, and then the momentum stops immediately. Tueta kicks it out of bounds, so the shot clock will reset to 14. There's 4:14 to go here in the first half.
What was almost injured, Johnny?
Regan, you called the game last night. What was the injury to Princeton?
Yeah, unfortunately, it was the same ankle injury for both the captain and Onwas last night. Just coming down after baskets, landing on another player's foot, both twisting their ankle in exactly the same way. Onwas is not anywhere near as bad as Vines. Onwas actually played the fourth quarter, but he was feeling a little bit sore this morning when he got here, and yeah, just was unable to make it on the court, unfortunately.
And Vines isn't here. I haven't seen him at least. So
he's down in the corner.
All right.
Yeah.
McAllister hits a long two after a nice Harrison bucket. So the teams are trading buckets at the moment. Doesn't help the Pirates.
No, they really need to get a bit of a defensive stance to get back in the game.
Jake Allen goes behind his back, throws up a wild one. Tueta with the defensive rebound. And then Allen picks up the foul. He needs a breather. I think that's his third personal anyway.
Yeah, that was just a bit of a fatigue foul.
Yeah, Jake Allen has 3. Pirates in the penalty, so Izzy Tueta will go to the free throw line for 2 shots. Checking in for the first time for the Pirates, Joel Mortar. Now, from all accounts on Joel, he's got the green light. They reckon he's one of the better shooters they have on the squad.
Yeah. I haven't seen him play a lot either, but that's the male. But right now, Johnny, they need some points, but I hope he can defend because that's where they also need to get some stops. 42 is not too bad in the half so far.
25 hurts you though.
25 makes it difficult.
Yeah, we thought that the Pirates might struggle to score without Onwas and Vines, and it's playing true so far this afternoon.
Well, just a bit of patience too in that regard. I mean, Bear, they switched out, and Bear had a post-up opportunity on Twitter, and you know, Vel shot the 3.
Yeah, good contest there by Bairstow blocking McAllister, but McAllister persistent, puts it back in. You gotta, if you're the Pirates though, with this lineup, you gotta have either Bairstow or Harrison touch it on every possession.
Well, and again, I want to see Vel Williams be more aggressive.
Bairstow.
Now they need action out of this.
Bairstow lost it. Wasn't much action really for him anyway. He was double teamed, had it stripped right out of his hands.
Well, the Ripper looked pretty content on packing the key. So that's where, if the Pirates can get some inside-outside, they should be able to get their shooters going.
McAllister going to get a breather, as is Louis Ilton. Sutton and Walker check back in. Pirates answer with Verl Williams Jr., Marty Leahy.
And they got to get, if they're going to double hard, which it looks like they do, most times Bear or Tyrell gets it, then they got to get that quick pass back out. It's just a bit predictable, the offense for the Pirates at the moment.
Harrison spins away from the defender. Going to get a foul on the floor. Looks like it's going to go against Sutton, I think.
Yeah, good move.
No double coming, so he's aggressive.
Absolutely.
Good recognition from the big fella.
That was a really good play.
4th team foul on the Rip. First one on Sutton. And Mortar going to inbound for the Pirates. Finds Leahy. Baseline jump shot is too strong. Nice rebound there from Hurdle. He's going to push ahead. He's going to stop and pop a 3 that rolls in and out. Sutton tips it up and in though. Really deep position there from Sutton.
Yeah, Ty's got to do a better job of boxing him out.
Leahy on the baseline drive blocked. Bairstow's follow is no good. Second attempt though is good. Pirates coming up with a little full court pressure here. Minute 20 to go. It's a 19-point lead for the Rip. Meal flips one up and gets it to fall. That's a tough finish there for Meal.
Really good take. I think he liked the Bear matchup.
Bairstow fouled on his way to the hoop for 2 shots. Again, we see a more assertive, aggressive Jared Bairstow. You think that's what the Pirates need in this with this deficit at 19?
Yeah, I mean absolutely. He's only had that was his 5th shot attempt, which is just not enough. And it's not a different story if he's getting quick skips out of the block, which they're not getting because they're not getting much movement out of the block. They're just leaving him isolated. A couple of guys run down the middle, but they've got to adjust to what the Rip are doing. The Rip are packing the key. So again, move the ball quicker. What's going to be open for the Pirates is those quick weak side skips. So, and again, that's where I'll be sitting, you know, the likes of Chol in the corner, and hopefully he can do his thing.
Fraser Roberts checks in for the Pirates for Chol. 20-point deficit for the Pirates. And we're under a minute to go in the first half. Tueta, good driving kick. Hurdle 3 is good. They're going to call it a 2.
The youngsters got to stay home on that. Marty Lay made the same mistake.
There's Roberts open in the corner. His 3-pointer is strong. Walker comes down with it. Rip going to look to work some clock.
I don't know if they know how, Johnny. And there you go.
No working of the clock there. Meal looking for the 2 for 1. I don't mind that. Williams Jr. gets inside. His pass stolen, though, by Hurdle. Hurdle hands off for Tueta. He wants to slow things down. There's a whistle inside. It's going to be a holding foul on Fraser Roberts, battling inside for Rory Sutton. So Sutton going to go to the free throw line for 2 shots. Roberts had the look on his face. He couldn't believe it was him.
Yeah, well, again, the young fella's going to have to learn how to hold his ground. You know Sutton's going to create a lot of action and say, hey, ref, look at this, which is good.
We don't mind it.
I like it. And the youngsters going to have to learn.
Yeah, Roberts is quite young, isn't he?
Yeah.
In that that Australian camp. I'm not sure if he got picked for the under-17 team. I think he was one of the alternates.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, certainly a good young local Pirate.
So Southwest will hold for the last possession of the half, down 24. Machando fires away and hits. I thought they'd hold for the last shot. It looks like it's going to be the Rip who'll get it off. Izzy Tueta pulls up. 3-pointer is good. Izzy Tueta beats the buzzer. It's a 2-pointer, they're going to say. And that hurts the Pirates. Heading into the major break, going down into the lockers, 24 points. It's 54-30. Do you think that shot's a little too early for the Pirates? Do you think they need to hold a little bit longer?
Well, I think it was okay. I mean, I think it was about 4. He shot it about 4 odd seconds, so I'm not against that. They just got to have a better job of finding that in transition. I mean, Izzy coming down. Machendo had a reasonable hand, but there should have been 3 or 4. You know, there should have been 3 yellow jerseys in front of him with a hand.
Oh, there wasn't, and that leaves the Pirates trailing by 24, 54-30, heading into the halftime break. We'll take a break. We'll come back hopefully with the Rip head coach, Nathan Arausi, and some halftime statistics. We'll be back with you shortly on your QBL Game of the Week, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia. Welcome back to Hibiscus Sports Complex. We're joined by RIP head coach Nathan Rousey. Nathan, halftime, you're up 24. How's it feeling in the locker room at the halftime break?
Look, chronic unease is probably the way a coaching feels all the time, but I think, the defensively we've been great. The pack's working. We're real tight. We're not giving them any, open looks from outside, and on the glass, besides a couple of O-boards, we've been pretty solid, and we're running the other way. So I'm pleased with the output so far.
Dave?
And just you talked about the pace. I mean, from a tempo point of view, 44 shots in the first half. Is that kind of where you'd like to be and where you see this team this year?
Look, today especially, a couple of guys out on the back of a double. We're fairly fresh, so we do want to push the ball. We got some quality guards who can push the ball. So as long as we keep focused on that and attacking the rim and getting the free throw line, or at least outletting, Lance is shooting the ball great against it from the perimeter. We're hoping to get the job done.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah, and just a bit testy there in the first half. We're going to get a fresh start in the second.
Yeah, we'll focus 0-0 again, and hopefully we'll go from there. But it's coaching against Mick, and his team's a good team, so it's going to be physical and it's going to be a little testy, but that's great.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much,
Thanks,
Coach
John.
Rousey. Good luck for the second half. That's head coach Nathan Rousey joining us for a quick chat before the start of the second half. Really nice of him to join us, Dave, in that halftime break.
Yeah,
and the RIP, they're in control of this one, but he makes some good points. There's still a lot of basketball to be played.
Yeah, it's something that we're going to try and do a bit more this year and really engage the coaches and players to give you a bit of a feel at home. And I think he's on the money. I mean, the third quarter's championship quarter, and how they're going to come out, which I'm going to assume is just like the first quarter, plenty of energy. He even mentioned talking about packing the key. Interesting. They do want to push the ball, and again, statistically, they're doing a good job. They're just down a couple on the rebound count. The turnovers are pretty reasonable. Actually, turnovers are excellent, only 4. Shooting 55% from the floor. Twitter's been tough, and they've really made it tough. There's a lot of, challenging stat lines here for the Pirates. A lot of offers, if I'm being critical, for the Pirates, and that includes Jake Allen, only 0 of 6. Bairstow's only had 6 shots. They really need to get Bairstow and Vines some ball, and they really need to get him some scoring opportunities.
Yeah, I think you mentioned previously Verl Williams Jr. also another guy you want to see get some shots. Pirates, though, just really struggling with that. They're two of their big guns. This guy kind of, one of the questions we had about the Pirates coming into the season was the depth of the squad, and we see it being tested here this afternoon.
Yeah, well, it's not only them. I mean, I think Coach Downer can be as nice as he likes, but really you've got to be critical. And when you're coming in at this level, you need to come in and perform. And so guys, when they come in, they need to produce. So again, Ty Harrison, he's been excellent today.
So would you if you're a Pirates, what's your approach for the second half down 24?
Well, and again, and I think Coach Downer shares my opinion because now he's starting him. He was a really good impact.
Give and go. Ilton finishes plus the foul. RIP recognizing that mismatch. It's a tough matchup defensively. Louis Ilton for Ty Harrison. Harrison obviously has the size, but Ilton has him in the strength and speed department.
Well, did they get that on Leahy or Ty? I think it could have been on Marty on a little lazy slap. But regardless, great start for the RIP. And I think just body, look at the body language already, Johnny. The RIP are pumped. They look like they want to tear their heads off. Pirates are kind of a little bit so-so.
Well, the third quarter has been a struggle for the Pirates all season long. If they struggle again in this third quarter, we might pull up stumps and go home, Dave, if they can't cut into this deficit.
Yeah, well, I mean, they'll need to have it back within, in my opinion, 6 to 8 points by the end of this quarter, or it will be over.
Well, they were outscored 33-15 in the second quarter, and they've yet to get on the board here. 32 seconds into the start of the third. 2 seconds on the shot clock for the Pirates. Inbounds, Leahy's got to get the shot off. He puts up a wild one. I thought that was late. Long rebound cannot be saved by Verl Williams Jr.
Well, sorry, Johnny, to interrupt. It's interesting. You look at it, and statistically, they've had the same number of shots. So it's not like the Pirates aren't getting opportunities. They've had some good looks.
Ilton gets called for the charge as Bairstow steps up into the contact. I don't mind the aggressive play, though, from Louis Ilton. He, again, knows his matchup. The guy can't stay in front of him, which was Ty Harrison.
Yeah, again, just a little bit of patience, though.
Leahy gets a screen from Harrison. They work it around to Machando. A lot of perimeter stuff here. Harrison gets it, flips up the left-handed hook shot. It falls, plus the foul.
There you go.
And then a technical foul. Looks like it's going to go against McAllister as referee Mark didn't like the chat. It was a good chat afterwards, so must have been a particular word used, I would assume, if they continued the chat afterward and didn't follow it the second tee.
Yeah.
So Harrison shoot the free throw, and then it's the technical free throw after.
Yeah, and
plus possession.
You can choose whoever takes a technical free throw as well. So if Harrison hits this one, they might leave him there to take it, but more than likely they'll probably put the likes of Vel Williams Jr. on the line for the technical free throw, and then possession as well.
Yeah, so those 2 on McAllister give him 4. He's got to sit on the bench. Sutton checks in. So a bit of foul trouble for the Rip.
Kind of strange that we haven't seen Tueta come back either. I mean,
Harrison hit both free throws. He took the technical also, so well done to Ty Harrison. 4 quick ones for the big fella. Cuts the deficit to 22, 56-34.
And this is where, again, 3 fouls already. They really need to be aggressive here. Again, I'd try and be working my way back at the foul line. I'd be looking for 12 to 14 free throws this quarter. Would be the medicine I'd be looking for from the Pirates.
How do you attack the pack defense, though, Dave? They just sit in the paint. You see, trying to find Machando on the cut there.
Well, they've got to that once you shift the D, and that's a better look from Bear. That's his bread and butter.
Yeah, Jared Bairstow with the fall.
They have to move the D, which is what they're not doing, and then off that reversal, then you look to attack. And again, they've got the athletes who can go and put the Rip boys under pressure.
Hurdle. Looking to use a Louis Hilton screen. He won't. He'll pull up for a deep 3. That's in and out. Too strong. Here comes Leahy. Kicks ahead for Verl Williams Jr. There's Leahy. Good pump fake from Marty Leahy. Shot is short, though.
Oh, I would have thought he could have turned the corner and got on the rim.
Tueta using his strength. Flips one up. Can't get it to fall, but there's a foul inside. That one's going to go against Machando. I think they gave that one too. So 2 shots for Izzy Tueta. It's that challenge, though, that Verl Williams Jr. has. That space was created because it's chest to chest. There's no, he's just not as strong as Izzy Tueta.
Yeah.
And there's really not much you can do to counter that, is there?
Yeah, he's given up a. Yeah, I mean, he's given up a few kgs there.
Bairstow's got a bit of blood in his mouth. He's obviously taken a little bit of a hit to the lip somewhere along the lines.
On the Hilton charge. He met Hilton's elbow.
Thompson back in for the bleeding Jared Bairstow. Tueta hits both free throws. Izzy Tueta's having himself a great game. Dave, you see him getting an NBL gig. I mean, we saw him play for the Breakers and the Bullets and played extremely well. Are you surprised he hasn't signed a contract yet?
Yeah, I am a little surprised. I mean, especially considering I think he performed really well. And, I still remember the back end of that first Bullet season where they kind of had the bench mob and they looked better than their starting friends. So to finish the season for the Bullets. So I think he's a really good player.
Roster spots are filling up fast. Thompson's got to get a shot off. He cannot do it. This is the afternoon for the Pirates in one play there.
Yeah.
No recognition of what is on the clock. No communication, turnover.
Yeah. And we did talk about their communication issues last game.
Sutton tips it out, and Rip will reset. Izzy Tueta finds Meal open in the corner. 3, it's up. Short. Ilton, offensive rebound. He'll flip it back up, swatted by Harrison.
Got to be faster. Move the ball. Good rip. Great
Nice
take.
handoff for Harrison. He'll flip it up and in, plus the foul. Meal trying to get the referees to give him the call because the foul goes against, I think it went against Louis Ilton. That's going to be Ilton's, I think, 3rd or 4th. It's his 3rd one.
Well, you got to be disappointed. I mean, that from a foul count position, you look at the foul count and you're like, well, Tuita's in trouble and McAllister's in trouble and Ilton's in trouble. And they really just haven't capitalized on it.
I think they're doing a better job, though, in the 3rd quarter of really being aggressive and attacking the paint.
Yeah, I really like the move then from Machendo. Again, moving the ball faster. They're just holding it for too long.
Pang checks back
I really
in.
like this horn. Sorry, Johnny.
You go.
I like this horns action that they run too. They often get some nice weak side threes. That was a bit of a different variation, but generally they really get some good stuff out of it.
Sutton gets called for an offensive foul. It looks like he hit the deck pretty hard. Rory Sutton in a little trouble there, but he's going to take a deep breath. He's going to try and walk it off. He called for a sub.
I think
looks like he's going to need one. See who Coach Harowski goes to. Going to go to Peter Walker, going to check in for Rory Sutton. Let's hope Sutton's okay.
Yeah, he didn't look. It looked like he was in a fair bit of pain, so he may not be in good shape.
Yeah, he's trying to walk it off. He's heading back to the locker room. See if we can get you an update as soon as we can. Lead is 19, though, for the Rip. Pirates looking to cut the deficit even further. Thompson, jump shot is off.
See, there's just nothing happening on the weak side. So the Rip D is just sitting in there, licking their chops and packing the paint. And again, everyone's going to do it against the Pirates because, again, tonight, they are currently 1 of 10. And I don't know what the season stats are, but if I just do some quick math on the 3 games I know of, they're something like 5 of 50 from 3 so in 3 games.
Yeah, they're definitely struggling from deep. Josh Tueta hits his own 3-pointer. So back up to 22, the lead for the Rip.
Good cut from Pang.
Thompson, though, gives it up. Josh Tueta running the point for his brother Izzy. And he gets it back to Izzy. And Rip really have the luxury of working the ball, working the clock. Coach Downer wants a timeout at the next whistle. Meal gets inside, kicks it back out. Walker is going to fire a 3. It's up. It's good for Peter Walker. And the lead goes back up to 25, and the Pirates going to take a timeout, so we'll take one as well. It's 64-39 for the USC Rip over Pirates on your QBL Game of the Week, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia. Back with you here at Hibiscus Sports Complex. 5:06 to go in the 3rd quarter. Pirates trailing their USC Rip 64-39, Dave. It's been a struggle for the Pirates here as well in the 3rd quarter. It's tight, but they only have 9 points up to this point.
Yeah, and then you get really mad if you're a coach when Walker comes in as one of the bench guys and bangs a 3 in your face. and kind of killed a bit of momentum for the Pirates. They were playing better, and they just need to work on some simple stuff. Just get some consecutive stops, which they're just not doing. Another turnover. They've really struggled against this pack D that the Rip have played, and then Walker's going to really hurt you with that one.
Josh Sweater gets the offensive rebound. Likes his matchup in the block against Machando. Goes to the right hand, flips it up. It's too strong. Pretty good defense there from Machando in the block.
Did a good job.
Verl Williams Jr. gets inside. They're going to get him for the offensive foul as he extended the left arm to create the space. Izzy Tuetta's picked up a few charges in his day.
Yeah, and again, you talk about his offense, Johnny, but defensively he's been really good. Done a great job on Verl Williams tonight.
He's a great leader. You see him calling out the offense. Love the chat. He's constantly talking as Hurdle finds Mill in the corner, uses the pump fake. Good hands there by Harrison, and the jet, Verl Williams Jr. takes off. Looking for the foul call. He's stripped out of bounds, though, by Izzy Tuetta. Looks like Verl limping a little bit there. Bit of contact. He's going to try and walk it off. He's going to get a breather. Harrison going to get a break, as is Verl Williams Jr. Bairstow back in, as is Jake Allen. Nice inbound play. Allen spins to the left-handed hook shot. It falls, plus the foul. It's an old man game. That's what it is. I was trying to figure out Jake Allen's game. That's a throwback, man.
He is a bit of a throwback.
Nothing wrong with that, though,
no,
Dave.
That's good. Tuetta was asking for a bit of a charge. It was with the elbow. It was probably pretty close.
Free throw is good from Jake Allen.
I mean, let's just assume, Johnny, that this one could be over.
We'll assume.
It's a good opportunity for some of the young Pirates to get burned too.
You do know what they say when you assume, right?
Well, they're down 24, and they are really struggling to score. So let's just assume that continues for the next 13 minutes.
Hurdle's offensive rebound is no good, but he's fouled underneath. That's on Jake Allen. I think that's going to be his fourth personal. It is.
You got to remember as well, though, Spartans were down by 22-24 last week, and they only ended up losing by 2.
Yeah,
to
that
the
came
Rollers.
down right down to the end. Our game last weekend.
They did, but the Pirates are missing 2 of their horses. So 2 of their key horses.
Let's look at percentages. Where are Pirates at, Dave?
Well, 1 of 10 from the 3 and 14 of 42 from the floor. Again, Verl Williams hasn't shot the ball here in the third quarter. And Bairstow's only had 1 shot more. So they're just, again, struggling to identify how am I going to get some buckets and from who am I going to get them.
Pang's pass nearly lost. Thompson recovers it. Goes right at the defense. Layup attempt is too strong. Tipped up and in, though, by Jake Allen.
Much better, though, right? Much better take from Thompson. Being aggressive and then Jake hitting the O-glass. That's what they need more of.
Tuetta dumps it off for his brother Josh. Reverse layup, good. He sees the floor really well, Izzy Tuetta. He sees and he knows who he wants to get a shot for. He's known for his scoring, but I don't think he gets enough credit for his smarts.
Yeah, I agree.
Man, Hurdle can get up.
Yeah.
Looked like his feet were at the rim from the angle we were at. Good hustle. Look at the Rip bench. They're up by 24 with 2:35 to go, and they're feeling it. Getting double technicals here, I think, on Izzy Tuetta and Troy Thompson.
That's 4 on Tuetta.
Bit of pushing and shoving.
I mean, how many minutes has that guy played tonight?
So that's 4 on Josh.
He's played 6.5. He's gonna give. He could give Manson a run here.
No way. No one will ever beat Rob Manson's quick 5.
What did Manson get?
I think it was about
6?
2. I think he got 6 in about 2 minutes.
Well, no, stop it.
No, I think so. We have to go back as Josh Duetta hits his second 3 of the night.
That was one of the favorite calls from a few of the NBN fans between him fouling out in a record time and the crazy shoes. If I remember, they were like bright yellow.
Jake Allen using that pivot, finds a cutting Thompson who can't get it to fall, gets his own rebound. Hook shot is too strong as well. Izzy Tueta comes up with it. It's a 3-on-2 for the Rip. Good pass inside. Walker finishes with the reverse. That's just a great pass and an excellent finish there by Walker.
Yeah.
Barstow snaps Walker in half. Gets to the bucket.
Well, it's a 16-14 advantage here, Johnny, in this third. So, again, the Pirates are scrapping. It's not pretty, but they're being competitive. Thompson in particular and Bear and Allen have really given them a good energy. And they kind of look a little exhausted too because they've had to sort of do an awful lot on both ends.
Yeah, well, everyone's playing big minutes here for the Pirates today. Machando looking like he needs a breather. He's going to get one. Stoddart going to check in for the Pirates.
And Tueta's going to get a bit of a well-deserved rest. It'll be interesting to see how they can capitalize here. And if the Pirates can get they get a 12-2 run or something like that, and that might give them a lot of confidence leading into the fourth.
Yeah, Dane Glover, the young fella, going to step in for Izzy Tueta, give him a bit of a breather. With 1:24 to go, Dave, 73-46 the lead on the Rip. You talked about winning quarters, but what's the goals now? We're gonna say it's still gonna be a double-digit deficit for Pirates going into the fourth. Is it the simple target of winning the fourth quarter?
Well, it is, but it's also, again, around the standards, So defensively, what are you after and which guys can do it? And so, it's been a tough day at the office for the Pirates, but you still want to teach and you still got to develop talent. And so it's, what offense are we going to run, which guys can listen and execute, and again, which guys are competing. I mean, Thompson's had a really good third quarter here. Probably something that he should have done more of in the first half, really. I mean, he's been real aggressive here.
And Rip going to a bit of a zone with some of their bench players on the floor for them as Meal pushes his way to the basket, but he's fouled on the shot, so he'll go to line for a couple.
But, down 26-ish to start the fourth. I don't know. I don't see T-Mac wearing yellow. So
Reggie Miller wore yellow.
Maybe they need T-Mac and Reggie to get him out of 26.
Yeah, it's been a tough day at the office for the Pirates on Mother's Day. I want to wish everyone out there happy Mother's Day, everyone tuning in. I don't think my mother will be up this late over in New York, but I wish her a happy Mother's Day anyway. Maybe she'll pick it up on the replay. I know she'll be watching as soon as she wakes up on her Sunday morning. Allen now with the hesitation out to Stoddart. Good pump fake, and then Meal going to get called for the foul. So Stoddart will go to the free throw line for a couple shots. Like the leadership from Allen, Bairstow, and Thompson there.
Yeah, and better action. They had a post feed and they had movement. They had cutters, which is what they haven't done for the previous three quarters.
You've seen Stoddard throughout his junior rep career.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, as I said, he's a really good talent, and he's just finding his feet at the men's level. Had a couple of injuries, so he's still got to work in a little bit of fitness.
Walker, now Hurdle. One-on-one with Christian Pang. He's going to bring it back out. He wants to take Pang one-on-one. Going to fire a deep three. That's good. He shoots it with confidence, as he should.
Yeah.
2 seconds to go. Stoddart going to get the shot off. It's an air ball. And at the end of the third quarter, it's a 78-49 lead for the Rip over the Southwest Metro Pirates. Dave, quick thoughts on that third quarter before we break.
Well, the Pirates did a lot better job of competing for starters. They did lose it by 3, and they just had offensive woes all night long. I mean, again, you give the Rip a lot of credit. Don't get me wrong. They've done a good job of packing the paint, but the Pirates just haven't responded and changed up any of their offense. They're going through the same stuff when the Rip are really packing the key.
Well, it's a 29-point deficit. We'll take a break. We'll come back with the final quarter of action here on your QBL Game of the Week, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia. Back with you at Hibiscus Sports Complex. As the USC Rip up 78-49 over the Southwest Metro Pirates. They were taking a look at the stats. It's really not pretty for the Pirates. You look at the plus minus, and it tells the story there. They've been trailing all game, and quite a significant amount throughout the entire quarters.
Yeah, and again, I think you look at some of the bright sparks. And Ty Harrison's done a good job, 15 points, rebounding the ball well. If that's on Allen, that could be a numero 5, and that might be 5.
That's on Jake Allen. I think he wanted to have a seat at the bench. I think he's had enough, so he'll foul out, and Lockie Venus going to get set to check in. Looks like. Bit of confusion on who the foul was on. It was definitely on Jake Allen. Yeah. So he's done for the afternoon. It was a struggle from the start for Allen in particular. He didn't have a great start. He's had a great start to the year, but he was almost having to carry the load early, and that's not the type of player that Jake Allen is.
Yeah, and you're right. They never recovered from that 14-2 start. They gave it a little bit of a fight back in the first quarter, but really it's been all Rip so far.
Score is now 80-49. Thompson, miscommunication there with Pang.
It's good though. I like it. I'll tell you what I like, because this shows character. So this will show what some of these young Pirates have got, and equally too, what the Rip are going to do. If they're going to cruise around and take it easy. If I'm the Rip, I'd be really focused on winning the fourth quarter still, despite guys who are playing. I mean, Tuita's not going to play a great deal, I would guess. Hasn't played a great deal, so he'll play as much as he can until he fouls out. And then McCallus is back as well.
How do you find analyzing the Rip in this type of game?
Well,
it was always going to be tough, like we said.
Yeah,
it is. Equally, you still have to come and do the job, and the Rip have really handled their business this afternoon.
I agree. You can only beat who's in front of you, and so I think they've done a good job. And they don't care if Pirates are missing a couple of guys. They're going to get into them, and they've done a good job.
Where do you see the Rip? I mean, we're now into round 4 here, so had a fair amount of time to see a few of the teams. Do you see the Rip being able to contend for a top 4 spot and potentially a home final?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's difficult too because sorry, not difficult. They've had a good continuity. So this group's pretty much been together the last 2-3 seasons. And so, you know, they've got good balanced scoring. They're not the biggest team, and their depth isn't the greatest either. But they've had guys in foul trouble all night, and they've got by. So, you know, that's pleasing from the Rips' point of view.
Coach Downer takes the timeout, so we'll take one as well. 8:15 to go. It's an 84-51 lead for the Rip over the Pirates. Here in your QBL Game of the Week, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia. Back with you at Hibiscus Sports Complex. John Guarna, Dave Derwin, and Regan Baker on the call here for you. It's an 84-51 lead. We're talking about some of the contenders and where we see the Rip sitting in that space, Dave. Who are some of the teams in the QBL who you've been impressed with so far through 4 rounds of QBL action?
Well, it's always tough because the teams, you know, sometimes they haven't played great teams yet, so the record could be inflated. But Mackay's look good. You know, Townsville has a squad that they've assembled, and so that'll be interesting to see how that plays out for them. But you know, a lot of good teams, and again, we saw Cairns week 1, and they've had a good start to the season as well. Brisbane dropped to the Force last night, which was a I was going to say nice little surprise. I say nice for those Ipswich fans out there, of course, because I was talking to Kane Bishop during the week, and he said, "Oh, we bloody never beat Brisbane."
In Brisbane, also, it's always tough.
And I said to him, I go, "Mate, every game is a fresh game." And so they did a good job. They had a good production from all their guys, and so that was a great win for the Force.
Yeah, looking at the stats, it looked like the Ralphie of old was back out, double-double, dropping, I think, 16 and 14 assists. So
yeah, Harvey had a big game. Garrett, I think, had 26 and 8 assists as well, so he did his thing. And again, I think they're a capable group, the Force. Obviously, they're young, and then they've got you know, Josh Spears coming in a couple of weeks too, I believe. So you know, they're going to be okay.
Where do you see the Capitals? Do you think that the Capitals are a contender? You know, I'm listening to Vandy and Rod's podcast, the Long and Short podcast. Vandy reckons that the Caps will probably, well, excuse me, Vandy's not 100% sure. It's a nice move there by Ty Harrison. But I think Rod was convinced that they'll be a contender because they just for the system that they play. What do you see with the Caps this year? It's a different roster.
Yeah, it is.
Losing Dusty.
I think Dusty was completely underestimated, and so he adds so much to them. It's not necessarily about the points for him. It's just the poise and the patience and the experience that he brings. So that hurts. And you know, they've certainly got a squad still. I mean, I'm sure a lot of teams would be happy with some of the guys they have. So there's no excuses. They on paper and with who they've invested in, they should be really good. So I still think they're one of the better teams for sure.
One of the guys you're quite familiar with on the Caps roster is their import, Brandon Davis. He had a quiet one versus Ipswich last night. Can you tell us a bit about his game?
Yeah, I think he's. It's interesting when we bring in guards, import guards, and generally, you know, you'll see a sort of an athletic Afro-American sort of style guard, but you know, Brandon's a fairly short fella, but he certainly can score and really smart player. So I think they won't miss a beat. In between you know, him and Anderson, you know, that's a pretty tough front court.
Anderson coming, I think he had his first game last night off of a couple ankle injuries. I think he actually picked up an ankle injury in one of the preseason games here versus the Pirates. And he's a difference maker. He's one of the best imports we've had in the competition for the last few years. figure once he gets a game or two under his belt, he'll be back, get a bit healthy, and he'll bring a nice impact for the Capitals as well.
Yeah, I mean the biggest knock for me is they're just little. They're flat out little. I mean they've got Nelson Carla really as their only real big man, and I think they play Carter at the 4, who's a sort of big man in our league, I guess. And you know, so their rebounding challenges are going to be every night. But certainly they can score, and as far as offense, they're okay.
Sunshine Coast Phoenix also, well, they were undefeated till we'll see what happens this afternoon. They're going to take on the Gold Coast Rollers in what should be another great QBL game as well. But Phoenix, one of the surprise teams here early, coming into this afternoon's matchup undefeated. What I tried the reverse there, went out of bounds.
And he's gone.
And I think he. Josh Twetta takes the technical foul. That'll be his 5th. He's fuming. Doesn't want to let it go. That was coming. We saw that coming for early on in the game, didn't we, Dave?
Sure.
So
yeah,
and
I think we were talking also about the Phoenix. I think they're going to be interesting, a bit like the Rip, in that middle. Actually, there's so many, to be frank, so many middle of the pack teams where there's plenty of talent. They just got to get their stuff together and work out what they are. And generally, when I say that, I mean, can you defend? And you know, if you can consistently defend, then they'll be okay. You know, some of the stronger on paper teams, I mean, the Gold Coast have got a really strong squad on paper too. So played well last week for half the game. Played well mostly last night and didn't close it out.
Yeah, you got to think Rollers would be disappointed picking up the loss last night here against the Pirates.
Yeah, especially considering it was neck and neck the majority of the way, and then kind of got blown out in the 4th.
4 fouls on Louis Ilton. McAllister going to check in.
Well, Nathan might have to throw a jersey on if all these boys keep on hacking.
6:10 to go. It's a 30-point deficit for the Pirates.
I think he's done too, yeah. I thought it was his 5th.
That's Zeke Meal picking up his 5th. Drowsy shaking his head. He might have to get Izzy Twetta back on the court here. Rough afternoon all around. A lot of chit chat. That's gonna be Lance Hurdle checking back in. I think if you gave both teams the option, they'd blow the final whistle now and call it an afternoon.
Yeah, and I guess
I know how we'd be voted.
It's kind of the point everyone just wants to go home for Mother's Day, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, we're getting nods from the score bench in agreement. No more fouls, gents. Let it wind down. The another thing too, Johnny. I mean, the districts got smacked this weekend too. Logan, big win against them, so that was kind of interesting. You know, we had Spartans had a great start and a great finish last weekend, but we're pretty average in the middle. You know, again, when they get Gibbo in their squad, and I think Darryl White is more than likely going to play as well.
It's going to be an interesting season. The Spartans needed that win terribly because they go on a big road trip next weekend. So I think they head up for the Northern Double. Fraser Roberts gets called for the foul inside, holding on to Louis Ilton.
Yeah, just got to be a bit earlier in releasing there and trying to beat Ilton to the spot.
Well, if you're a head coach though, Dave, in the QBL, obviously every game is an important game. But when do you start looking at the schedule and starting to think, you know, if you're in the Spartans, are you worried now that you haven't picked up a win yet?
I mean, you certainly should be worried, but they've got plenty of time to turn it around, and so. You know, interesting. I think it'll be interesting. I think Vel Williams is just going to rest with his ankle. He looked like he rolled it too. and they might just sit Bairstow now and play with the young kids to finish out the game. But sorry, Johnny, to go back to the Spartans comment, yeah, they got to start winning. I mean, you can't be 0-5 and then you really got to, you know, finish 12-5 to get in a playoff position, which is challenging. And so, you know, they've really got to. That's about 3 travels, I think, just then.
Good floater there, though, from McAllister. Gets it to fall.
But refs might have just.
They want to go home as well.
Sucked in the whistle and let it go.
I don't mind that. I'm not hating on that as
No.
Machendo with a nice finish. But you do look at the ladder at this point, and there's still the Gold Coast Rollers and Phoenix to come. But Pirates came into tonight in the 3rd slot at 3-1, and the Rip just behind them. They'll move to 3-1 and move up a rung into the top 3. But you look at the bottom of the ladder, and that's what's concerning to me. Toowoomba got a nice win over Gladstone. Right, and I think Gladstone be pretty disappointed to be 0-3 at this point of the season.
Yeah, and they haven't really played the Premier teams either, so they've had a couple of bad losses.
But this is gonna be a nice win for the Rip, regardless of who's out on the floor for the Pirates. You mentioned that in your pregame, see how they can play away from home. They're picking up a nice road one here in dominant fashion.
Yeah.
And it was from the tip. In that first quarter, Pirates did a pretty good job to get it close, but that was pretty much the highlight of the game as Harrison puts it down with the right hand. Looks like Coach Arausi going to take a timeout, so we'll take one as well. 3:34 to go. It's a 30-point deficit for the Pirates, 91-61. Your QBL Game of the Week presented to you by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia. Back with you at Hibiscus Sports Complex. 3:34 to go in this one. 91-61 Rip over Southwest Metro Pirates. We're taking a look at the ladder, though, Dave. Anything that's surprising to you here at the moment?
Well, Ipswich beating Brisbane was surprising. I'll be honest. But
yeah, I think most people would have tipped the Caps in a home game against the Ipswich.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, so much depends on the draw and who you've played already, really. But you know, certainly the stronger teams, you know, that we think that are going to be up there, you know, the Mackays, the Rip Rollers, etc. Townsville's only played 2 games, but I think they've got a pretty reasonable squad as well.
Nice little action there. Machendo gets it to roll.
Yeah, he's done a good job too. I think him and Harrison have been really good for the Pirates this afternoon.
Tipped out of bounds there by Lockie Venus. Good opportunity, though, for the young guys here for the Pirates to get some minutes, as well as for the Rip.
Yeah.
You know, you mentioned the bench might be one of the weak points for the Rip, so this is good live QBL action for them to get some minutes.
Yeah, they kind of have a sort of 7 to 8 man rotation, really. So it's always good to get the other guys in. And you know, the Pirates are a little bit different because they'll play 10 or 11 as they've got a few young kids that they're developing.
How valuable, though, do you see these kind of garbage time minutes for young players?
Oh, it's critical. I mean, training's cute, but it only really it matters when you're playing with real referees and against the real bods. So it's really invaluable. And again, a lot of these guys are going to get their 10, 15 minutes tonight. So that really helps early in the season. And they'll learn a lot. Obviously, they'll go to the tape they'll break it down, what they did well, areas they've missed.
Good finish there from McAllister. It's a nice move for the big guy.
Well, Ty's got to stay in front. He's just got to move his feet, stay in front. You can't block everything.
Flynn O'Toole checking in for Zane Meal. Rip looking to crack triple digits here. 95 and 2:10 to go in the game.
Wow. I mean, they will probably will get 100.
McAllister, I'm gonna say he's tired on that one. There's no excuse for shooting an air ball on the free throw.
And so he should get subbed off for that rubbish. Take a seat.
Izzy Tueta comes back in.
Mr. McAllister.
For McAllister after that air ball on the free throw.
No, he's been good. He was good today.
McAllister was very good. He's a talented guy. There's Chol. They say he could shoot it. He gets it up. It's a bit short.
Yeah, that was a nervous chuck up. Was not a good shot. And that's frustrating too, because from a coaching point of view, you want to get through the sets, not just start chucking because you're down 30 and oh well. That's when you really need to be diligent in the system.
Good finish there from Harrison through the contact. Just taking a look at the draw for next week. Next Friday night on the 18th, you've got Rockhampton hosting Mackay and Townsville hosting the North Gold Coast Seahawks. And Saturday, you've got Gold Coast at home to Logan Thunder. Pirates at home against Toowoomba in your QBL Game of the Week. The Sunshine Coast hosts the Brisbane Capitals. That's the Phoenix. Cairns Marlins host the North Gold Coast Seahawks. And Mackay visits Gladstone. That's all on Saturday. And then Sunday, you got RipCity hosting Brisbane Capitals and Southern District Spartans hosting the Ipswich Force. So a couple interesting games next weekend. Rip are going to have a tough one hosting the Capitals. And Pirates should be pretty confident to pick up a win. They were only in Toowoomba, not this weekend, but last, and they got the nice W over the Mountaineers. So
yeah,
should be a winnable matchup for Southwest, particularly if they have Onwis and Vines back.
I was going to say, not if they play like they played tonight. Toowoomba will walk all over them if this is the kind of quality Southwest is going to come out with. But I think picking up Onwis next week, maybe Vines, seeing how he recovers during the week. But yeah, having Onwis back next week against the Mountaineers will be a big difference if he's healthy enough to come back.
And Mountaineers, that would come in with a bit of confidence, picking up their first win of the season. And it was a big one on the road in Gladstone.
I think their input at 49, right?
It's not a bad effort.
It reminded us of the game we did last year with Bassett, when Bassett dropped like 48 or something in round 2.
Yep. No, that was the opening round in Logan.
Yeah.
And he was tremendous. Toowoomba was pretty excited about that performance, but I think they relied a little bit too much on Jalil Abdul-Bassett last season.
Yeah.
Flynn O'Toole gets the follow. I thought it was going down, but it rolled out.
Good job competing, young fella.
Yeah, you got to like Izzy Tueta's leadership here. He's out there with the young fellas, giving them a bit of direction and encouragement. Good look. Can't finish. Walker's follow is blocked by Harrison. It's a shot clock violation. Both teams playing it out. I like the effort to finish strong from both ends.
Yeah, Harrison, he's been really good. I've been not critical, but certainly, fair. I think in some of the areas that he's made, and some of it's been effort, effort stuff and positionally. But he's been terrific today. 22 points. They're only going to give him 2 blocks, which is a little harsh. I think he's probably had 4. But he's been terrific. Again, just that maturity. I was impressed too with Fraser Roberts, the other young Pirate guy.
It's going to be a big win here for the Rip. I thought Izzy Tueta was fantastic this afternoon. I thought Lance Hurdle was great as well. And the final score will be that 95-69 win for the Rip. It was over at pretty much at the first quarter, Dave. Disappointing result for the Pirates, but if you're the USC Rip, you'd be pretty happy to leave here with a 3-1 record.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, guys shared the ball. Tueta finished with 16 and 8. Louis Hilton had 6 points. Hurdle was great. McAllister was really solid. Josh Tueta had limited minutes due to some foul trouble, but he finished with 15 again. So across the board, a really strong performance.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it, there's going to be a lot of things that Southwest is going to have to take away from this game as well. Like, we understand that they don't have their captain in Ryan Vines or, you know, their big import in Prince and Onwas, but at the same time, you're not always going to have your full squad. But to come out and play, to a degree, such a lackluster game from the Pirates, they just need to, you know, not be put off by the fact they don't have some of their key players, and they still need to come out and perform a little bit stronger than what they did this afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're going to try and grab Izzy Tueta for a bit of a chat.
Yeah, Johnny's out on the court now, as you can see at the center stage, trying to grab Izzy Tueta for us. But look, all round and round, Sunshine Coast Rip have done a really good game, and we haven't seen them at all yet this season, and I didn't see a lot of them at the end of last year either, but they've come a long way as a team and working together and developing some of the younger guys to come through as well. So they've got a really good squad, and if they keep playing the way that they played this afternoon, they could really give some of the bigger teams a very good run for their money.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're certainly in the upper echelon of squads in the QBL this year. And a lot of it comes from that continuity over the last couple of years. And then McAllister comes in. And again, I wasn't super familiar with him, but I mean, he was terrific. He finished with 19 points on an efficient clip, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, block shots, etc. He really did a little bit of everything.
Yeah, and from the Southwest side of things, Dave, I think I've got to back up one of your comments before as well in terms of Tyrell Harrison. I've been a little bit critical of him in the past as well. In terms of his performance on the inside, you know, being a 7-footer, he's obviously still only a young kid, still not even 20 yet, I don't believe.
Yeah.
But he's been a little bit weak in the past. He's tall, but he's putting on some muscle, even compared to last year. He's bulked up a lot. He's a much bigger 7-foot kid than he was last year.
Yeah.
So he's finally coming to work on the inside. He's really making a big effort. He's matching up against some big dudes defensively as well. But both ends of the court, tonight was his night to shine, and he really stepped up to the plate, as we said before the game. He needed to step up. He needed to have some big plays, and he did exactly what we needed him to do. So a really great job from Tyrell.
Yeah.
All right, joined now by Rip point guard Izzy Tueta. Izzy, great game out there today. It was a pretty good performance for your team. What are your thoughts on the big win?
Yeah, great win for us. Obviously, they didn't have Wainsey or Princeton, so that's big for them. So, you know, Southwest is the type of team, we knew that being down 2 players, they're probably going to come out and play harder. That's just the type of squad they are. So I thought we did a good job of staying locked in and doing, you know, defensively we're getting better every week and we're doing the things we talk about at practice, and offensively we seem to be finding our identity a little bit better. So it was a great game for us, man. Another step forward for us.
You guys looked really comfortable out there as well as a unit. You talk about gelling, because you bring in a McAllister. He's an impactful guy. How does he fit into the squad heading into, well, now in round 4?
Yep. He's, big thing with Eric is he's just a legend, you know. And so, like, we got a team where everyone enjoys playing with each other, and Eric fits right in. He's just a good dude. Obviously, he's got some skills. He's got some hops. He's very versatile, so he's hard for teams to match up against. And I think, you know, with him and Josh as well, both of those guys can stretch the defense. They can also take it down low. So with our style of play, I think it's all working out nicely.
Hey, a lot of talk out there. I know you're a big communicator out there, but it looked like to me you were really focusing on bringing that team together in the leadership. Is that something you focus on coming into the season, or is that just something that you pride yourself on?
No, I think especially this season. I think we probably left a lot on the floor last year. Like we got a lot of wins early, but they were always just scrappy wins. They weren't the wins you walk away feeling great about. You know, we thought we were better than what we showed last year, and even the first weekend was pretty sloppy for us. And we went away and we watched the game film, and you know, we realized it's just the 1%ers. And I mean, that always starts with communication. That always starts with talk. And you get 1 or 2 games under your belt where everyone's talking and everyone feels the effects of it, then I don't know why you'd stop doing that, you know what I mean? It feels good, so everyone just keeps talking.
Yeah. Dave, you got anything for
Yeah,
Izzy?
you talked about last year. You finished pretty well and had a good group, and you've built now with McAllister. So is there some clear goals for 2018? Do you think you're legit contenders?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You know, I think we all we all thought we were last year. I think, you know, last year I thought we put a team out on the floor that if we did everything the way we were supposed to do it, we were contenders. You know, we got probably stretched a bit thin by the end of the year, like probably didn't have the depth that we needed to just keep on grinding it out. But this year, Pete, I know no one really knows Pete, but he's another great dude that's come into our lineup, and he just works his ass off. And, you know, you add in Eric, and there's just more depth. Tommy Caldwell is going to start coming in. The young fellas are starting to get more involved. So, yeah, I think the fact that we're just going to have more depth is going to, towards the end of the year, really going to help us out.
Yeah. And I mean, it was, you know, a pleasing result for the Rip, obviously, because the Pirates hung around that second quarter, but you had some foul issues, let's say. I think the referees almost hurt the P. But I think, did four guys foul out? I think so. I think four guys fouled out. Anyway.
There was double text, so I don't know if that counts as fouling out.
But, yeah, so, I mean, you know, you even had some foul issues to work through, and your bro barely played, and so you still stayed strong, which was good, I think. And defensively, the intensity was, I think, much improved from last year as well, I think, which is pleasing. Yep.
And I think it just goes to all, like, you know, all the things we just said. We're a little bit deeper. We're talking more on D. We're a bit more switched on the little 1%ers that we got to take care of. And I think, you know, that shows when a team makes a run. That's when those little things kick in, and we're poised instead of flustered, you know?
Yeah.
And that's where they make a run in the second quarter. We're able to hold it out and push it out.
Just got to ask the question, Izzy. I know we're talking QBL. Anything on the NBL front for you? I mean, I say it every time I see you play. You're an NBL guy. We know you had, had some opportunities. Anything on the horizon?
Yeah, in communication with a couple of coaches, and I mean, you know, I don't know how much they're in communications with other players as well. So there's a couple of teams where I got my fingers crossed, and hopefully something works out. But yeah, man, it's hard to really judge what's going on. You know what I mean? You just got to do what you got to do, and hopefully it all works out, man.
Yeah, well, we definitely support you for the NBL. We know you're an NBL guy. We appreciate you coming in and sitting down, having a chat with us, Izzy.
Thank you, John.
Great win this afternoon.
Thanks, Izzy.
We're going to wrap things up for you here. 95-69 the win for the Rip. That does it for us. For Regan Baker, Chris Siebert, Dave Derwin, and, of course, James Bowman from the Australian Sports Network. That's us here from Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia. We will have the Southwest Metro Pirates hosting the Toowoomba Mountaineers next Saturday for you. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in to another presentation of the QBL Game of the Week by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia.